about for you guys today in terms of what you wanted to get established or get done?
Conditioning, pace, tempo, physicality, defense, rebounding.
Everything under the sun. Did you feel like you are implementing anything new right now with a kind of relatively similar group to last year without Tyrese, or was it a lot of refreshers kind of to get started this year?
There are adjustments every year, but I'm not going to get into details on it. But it was a very good day, very, very productive. Guys are in very good condition, which really helps. And so, you know, it was it was good, and we hopped from one thing to the next pretty well.
You talked about James Wiseman's conditioning. What made you guys feel like it was really important to bring him back? You know, obviously you only got one game out of him. Actually, not even a full game before the Achilles. So what did you guys like about what you saw before he got hurt and during his rehab that stood out to you to say, okay, this guy we need to give him a shot?
He's still a great prospect. You know, he's had an up and down 5 years with injuries and some other situation stuff. We just we like him. We love him as a person. We love his size, his body type, athleticism. He rebounds the ball really well, and for a guy that size, he's an amazing runner. When we did our conditioning test, he was one of the last guys to drop out. And so, you know, you think about what he's gone through with his rehab and everything else, and this was a week before training camp, and he's out there with some of our best conditioned wings and guards. I mean, that's a strong statement.
Is this something he's taking a step in, and was he pretty well conditioned when you got a hold of him last year, or is this beyond even? I mean, is he taking this year?
He's taken a step up, and look, his rehab was aggressive. Isaiah's rehab was aggressive. I mean, there's two guys that had serious injuries that had a year-long rehab, and to this point have made a full recovery, and both had great days.
Do you guys have any health concerns beyond the Achilles guys right now?
Yeah. Cam Jones is out for a few days. Shepard's out for a few days. Ray J. Dennis is a part-time participant in ramping up from something that came up a few weeks ago. So, we'll hope those guys continue to do well.
How big of a loss is Mike for you guys, and what do you hope Johnny can add to your staff?
Yeah, Mike's a great coach. Very special person to me, and did great work for 17 years. Johnny's a young, vibrant guy that has really good experience at UVA, and he was also a video guy for me back in 13-14 or 14-15, I guess it was. And so he's just got a great intellectual curiosity for the game. He's energetic. He was with Memphis last year in a really high-level situation and brings some experience from that. And so he's going to do great.
Rick, is there a single most important thing your group needs to get accomplished in this next week?
Just got to gain momentum each day. Got to get better each day. Conditioning is a big thing. Our thing is that we have a commitment to do things very hard with a very high physical element, and conditioning and mindset have a lot to do with it.
Travis has kept a couple of guys that are on Exhibit 10, so usually don't use the whole 21 roster spots. What made you decide to do that this year? Is it some of the injuries you have, or is it what led you to kind of take in a bigger training camp roster?
Yeah, some of it was considerations for guys that would be out or part-time at the beginning of camp, and these are all good guys. I mean, Slauson's a really nice NBA prospect. Gabe, was kind of a last-minute addition, but it just gives us another young but experienced training camp guy that goes hard and is a good system player. So I have one other announcement. We've changed. We've adjusted our schedule for the first few days of training camp, so that on Saturday we can attend Nancy Leonard's funeral, which will be up in Carmel. And so, just very important to pay our respects to someone who's been such a big part of this city and this state. And so we'll practice tomorrow. We'll be off Thursday. We'll practice Friday. Saturday will be an off day with Nancy's service, and then we have a team function that night, and then Sunday will be fan jam, and then Monday we'll be back on schedule with a practice, and then travel to Minnesota.
Rick, can I ask you one follow-up to that? What did it mean to have Nancy's presence during that finals run last year? To have her be so close to the team in such a big summer?
Yeah, Nancy Leonard is one of one. What she's meant to, obviously, this franchise wouldn't even still be here without her. And the city, and really just Indiana basketball in general, it's pretty amazing. I mean, she was the general manager of the Pacers at one time, which is amazing too. So there have been a lot of tributes to her over the last several days, and deservedly so. But we need to pay ultimate respects to her, and if we have to change our whole season schedule, we'll do it.
Practice day one, what was it like basically? What were you guys trying to get accomplished? What do you feel like you did get accomplished?
It was a good day one. I think we went over everything we needed to. Touched on what helped us, get as far as we did last year. And, I don't think we wasted too much time getting the new guys up to speed. I think we were able to just flow into it, and they picked it up pretty quickly.
Rick said today was just big on conditioning and stuff and trying to make sure that's established. Obviously, you guys have been working out all summer and everything like that. But how do you think everybody came back as far as that's concerned? And what do you think how do you think that drove the point home?
It was good, man. I thought today was, we ran up and down a lot today, but, we emphasized conditioning so much. I think most of us our summers had a lot of running in it. So even today, I don't think guys were necessarily too gassed. I think we were pretty prepared for these days.
Was the new guys surprised, I guess?
A little bit, yeah.
Do you think you guys made that point in Orlando and elsewhere?
Yeah, we talked to them, but, some guys got here later, and some guys weren't in Orlando, and you can see the guys who weren't in Orlando, they're, maybe a little tired, but, it's easy to pick that up. They'll be fine tomorrow.
How much higher does the starting point, the baseline for this group feel given the success of last season?
I think it's we touched on before, a lot of people don't believe we could do much this year. So for us to live in that space is pretty nice. We've been living in that space for the last 4 years. So I don't think there's any real pressure on us. I think we're just going to go out there, play our game, and, start better than a lot of people think we will.
As far as that mindset's concerned, like you said, you guys are used to being out or whatever. How is it different when you think that? That you actually have one and you guys know what it looks like. How does it? Is it a different approach of that you guys can take to being there?
I think it's just experience. You learn so much from being in those clutch situations with so much pressure on you that, when we start again, it's easier, man, and like when the going gets tough or, things aren't going well for a couple stretches, it's easy just to lock back in and we're fine.
What's I think immediately after Tyrese got started, you started seeing the word gap here. And I think Chad mentioned that some of it has fit you guys off. Would you guys say that that's something you guys are like?
I personally haven't seen that too much, and I'm glad I haven't seen that because that's just ridiculous.
What's DeLon Wright's guy you guys just added? Thoughts on him?
Veteran presence. He's been around for a long time. I think because he's been around for so long, all the stuff that we do, he's going to be able to pick up pretty quickly, and he's going to help us a lot.
What's the pressure about the two guys coming back from Achilles tears, James and Isaiah, and what they have to do to get back in this?
They've been grinding all summer, so you can see it in practice. They don't seem a step behind. They are right there with all our schemes. They know what we're doing. They know where they're supposed to be. And, to be out for so long, it's tough, and it's a great feeling for them. Like, I could tell yesterday during media day, Zay was like, he was putting his jersey on. He was like, this is just so odd. He hasn't put a jersey on in a year. So, happy for those guys. They did well today, and, I'm happy I'm excited to see them in their first game again.
lot. I know this opportunity kind of came about last minute. When did you get the call, and when did you find out that this opportunity presented itself?
I would say Thursday. Thursday I got the call, and then I left Friday morning. So it was a pretty quick turnaround, but I'm grateful for the opportunity.
What excites you about joining this organization and just the style of play, the Pacers, the culture they built here?
Yeah, the style of play. Everybody touching the ball. The defense, everybody picking up. Getting into their man. I played for Rick in Dallas, so I know what he asked from his players. So just the whole opportunity, and I have quite a few people that I've worked with on the staff and on the team. So that's always good to see familiar faces.
What relationships with the players did you have coming in?
I played with like 5 different players. P Skills, Spicy P. Played with him in Toronto. Q, Huff, somebody else I'm missing. That's 3. It's somebody else I don't remember right now. But yeah, I play with a few players, so it's good to see them.
I don't know if you got asked this already, but having played against these guys in the finals last year, I mean, what did you take from that experience and seeing the way that they play and they operate in the style of play? Like, what stood out to you about going up against this team?
All the comebacks they had. Before we ended up playing them, the next series they had like quite a few in the playoffs. So, never quitting mentality. That's something that I thrive on. Everybody gets opportunity here. That's something that excites a player like me that doesn't get all the praise. I know that if I am on this team, that I will get an opportunity at one point and a significant role.
Since you mentioned if you are on this team, I mean, how do you approach something like that where it is kind of a 16 guys for 15 spots situation? What are you looking at and trying to do, and what's that? I'm sure you've been in a situation like this before at some point. What's that like?
Yeah, I never actually been in this situation. This is fairly new for me, but I feel like I've been around the league 11 years now, so they know what I do. They brought me here for a reason. So if I am on the team, good. If not, I know I'll give it my all. So a lot of it's out of my control. I just can control what I can control, which is playing the right way, being a leader on defense and offense.
How did this whole thing develop for you? Like, when did they call you? Basically, like, how did this all kind of play out in terms of when you heard from them in the first place and what you thought when?
What's up, Pascal? You good, man? I remember him. He was a rookie. Yeah. But yeah, they called me Thursday, and told me that they had an injured player. So he was the same position as me, Monte. I played with him before too. So they wanted to get me out here as quick as possible. So I wasn't doing anything, just golfing. So it worked out for me, and I've been chilling here since Friday. I got a few workouts in before training camp, so I wasn't too rusty. But yeah, just like I said, grateful for the opportunity. I've played for Rick before. I know what he wants, and he's been pushing me, so it's been good.
How much does that help make a difference that you have played for Rick before and kind of know what he wants?
I mean, it's a major. I think it's a major key for me because like I said, I played for him. I played for him for a full season in the bubble also. We spent a lot of time together. We talked a lot. So, I just try to pick up on the things that he's harping and make sure I'm doing them to a high level.
How do you think you fit in with the rest of these point guards?
Yeah, good. Very unselfish players. McConnell, I played against him since college. So we both been backups for 11 years. So that's been my matchup. So I know what he brings. And then for me, I know I'm interchangeable. If McConnell's at the 1, I'm at the 2. I can play off of him, and I know vice versa. Andrew, he can play off of other players. He played with Ty last year, so I feel like we're all versatile and can do multiple things.
Okay, just what's this process been like? You get in obviously here for joining the game 1. You got to go through that process. What's it like to work your way back?
Yeah, felt good. I mean, 10 months of hard work. just taking it day by day. But I'm just blessed to be out here playing again.
Rick said great things about your rehab. Said it's been an aggressive rehab, and you've come back in terrific shape. I mean, what did you have to do to pull it off? I mean, what did it take to get through that?
Really, it's all just mental. You're gonna have days where it's gonna be good, gonna be bad days, but having that resilience, having that integrity to push through every day. And I mean, those 10 months, I just kept my integrity and just kept my character intact and just worked hard every day.
You've been through a serious injury before. I mean, obviously that gets old, but I mean, what is the experience of one? How does that help the other when you get used to having the stack and rehab?
I'll say just like the longevity of the rehab, knowing like it's gonna be a 10-month, hard rehab, especially the previous injury I just had. So just being able to like, stay confident in like who I am and just get back healthy and just like, staying confident within the process and taking it one day at a time. I feel like that's how I got through it. Just taking it one day at a time.
What went through your head, the injury in the first place, especially because it's the first game of
Yeah.
the season.
Kind of shocked me a little bit. It was surprising because I wanted to like help this team out, like just play my role and do what I can for this team to win. So like it kind of shocked me a little bit, but you can't some stuff you can't control, but what you can do is respond. So.
What did it mean to you that they brought you back? Obviously they took you back to rehab. Obviously they traded you to open up the roster spot at the end, but they still brought you back. Once you were away. What did that mean that they gave you another opportunity and said, hey, we want you back? Yeah,
it's a blessing just still being in the NBA, still have this opportunity. So I'm gonna do my best to just do the best I can with it. That's really it.
What was the value of doing the rest of your rehab here after you got away from that? Pick you back up, being able to come back here, work with this group, spend time with this group, be around it to see that the final.
Just
value is there.
Just controlling what I can and just making the best of everything I got. So that's really it.
What did you learn by observing? You were put in a bad position, but to just have to watch a season and absorb it like that.
Yeah. So like just watching the whole system, watching how Miles is able to play make and be able to make plays in the system as well. So as I was watching the system, just kind of visualizing myself mastering my role, running the floor, rebounding, kind of just like playing simple and just playing efficient, I'd say.
How do you view this a challenge? It is a totally new situation for them. You got 4 guys and it seems pretty wide open.
Yeah.
Just how do you view that opportunity now that Miles is here?
Just maximize every opportunity I got and just play my ass off every day. Play hard.
You and Isaiah in particular is going through the same thing in the past year. How close have the two of you become, and how does that help with the competition in the center position?
It's been good. Like, just going through that 10-month process, both of us, and, just uplifting each other. But at the end of the day, like, opportunity is there, so just making the best of it every practice.
Rick was talking a lot about your conditioning. He said you were one of the last guys to drop out of whatever conditioning drill it was. Are you in better shape than you've ever been?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
How well conditioned are you? How well do you think this fits the way that you play?
Definitely, because 10 months I was able to work on my body and stuff and able to work on my conditioning. So I said, I'm going to just focus on being in the best shape that I could possibly be coming back. So that was my whole focus.
So when do you actually when in this process, I don't even know how it checked out, like, when do you get to start running? Because you go a while, you got to stay off your feet.
Right.
How were you able to, the tough part is doing the cardio, right? How were you able to amp that back up quickly?
Just taking everything serious in the weight room, going through my rehab process. Like, when I'm on the conditioning bike, just like go hard as I can and just go hard every single day in and out. And I feel like that's how I got back.